so that I can't get surprised by unexpected resistance too much.
Who's hurt? Who's hurt?
Sir, yes, sir. We're under attack.
Who's hurt?
Who did we encounter over here who
Who's hurt?
hurt us?
What do you need? What do you
We're under
need?
attack.
Okay, now we got planes causing trouble.
Yes, Commander. Roger. Ready. Ready. Help. Right away. General.
Alright, so spies. I think I want one of you guys
Yeah.
to take over a tank factory.
Your secret is safe, General.
Maybe have,
We're under attack.
I don't know, one of you guys take over a barracks.
With all stealth.
What are you doing?
Yeah. We're under attack. Yeah. Your secret is safe.
This will be our London base of operations. I have gathered enough administrators at the Paris Rail Yard to set up an occupation government in London.
Infiltrate a building, move spy next to it and select the building. Oh, I have to select the building. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we've got this now. I have to find the I have to... No.
General.
One of our agents has successfully
After
infiltrated
almost
a
destroying
building
it
and
by just
converted
punching it repeatedly.
General.
Okay. Our spies are punching the enemy buildings. That is clearly the best use of their expertise.
With all stealth.
Who's
What
hurt?
do you need?
Be right there.
Alright, so at this point, we just have to find the American buildings and destroy them.
What do you
Of
need?
course, sir. We're under attack. Ready, sir. We're under attack.
Who's
What
hurt?
do you need?
Who's
I'm
hurt?
The American Expeditionary
Who's hurt?
Force
I'm on
didn't
it.
really get that much time to get established. I guess they didn't bring a lot of armies. I mean, they had some tanks and stuff, but they mostly brought navy, and then they brought engineers who were supposed to be building, like, town
Who's hurt?
centers
Right
and
there.
stuff. Because the Americans do seem to function more like a regular old force that has to
Who's hurt?
build buildings and produce units from them.
Ready, sir. Ready, sir.
I don't know, you guys are Group 7 now, and I'm just trying to think places where the Americans might be. They'd hang out where there was resources. I don't know.
Who's hurt?
Oh, here we go.
What do you need?
So that was pretty damaging.
Who's hurt?
Jawohl.
Who's hurt?
We're under attack.
Alright, so our,
Be right there. I'm on it.
Travis Shackelford. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright, well there went that little expeditionary force. We gotta... I think we gotta find and kill these guys. Oh, Rommel is still alive.
We're under attack.
Do we need to get Rommel out of there? Is that even required? Do we need him to survive?
Jawohl.
You guys should populate this.
We're under attack. We're under attack. Ready, sir. Waiting orders.
Yeah, I didn't realize that we had
Ready, sir.
Rommel down as a
Waiting orders. Command.
This is turning into such a shit show. Saw some Americans down there at long last. Rommel's still alive.
We are under attack. Yeah? We are under attack.
Sehr gut.
Ready, sir. Ready, sir.
Awaiting orders.
Mine coming down.
He might make it. It's getting silly. Have I got someone who can occupy a hospital? Alright. No,
Under attack.
because that hospital has got guys in the way.
General Rommel is dead. But Sea Lion must continue.
We are under
We can
attack.
still succeed.
This is such a shit show.
We are under attack. Ready.
Plotting new course. Ready, sir. Orders. Ready, sir. Orders. Ready, sir. Awaiting orders.
We are under attack.
Awaiting orders.
General, your secret is safe.
It all stealth.
Your secret is safe.
We are under attack.
Yeah, I don't know what save to go back to, because everything was going great until I landed troops, and then it just turned into a shit show.
All stealth.
One of our agents has successfully infiltrated a building and converted it for our
Because I need to get down here and kill these guys with these tanks, which are currently getting killed by a tower.
We are under attack.
Awaiting orders.
Alright, forget the tower, just get past it.
We are under attack.
Ready, sir. Awaiting orders. Ready, sir. As you command. Awaiting orders. Ready, sir. As you command. Ready, sir. Awaiting orders.
Oh, so these are anti-tank. Well, that's kind of annoying.
Ready,
Get
sir.
up to
Your secret
the infantry and take it over.
One of our agents has successfully infiltrated a building and converted it for our use. One of our agents has successfully destroyed a civic building and taken the resources that were being stored there.
I don't know what to do with this. I've made such a mess of it. When am I out of here? Iron? I'm out of iron. So I need just regular old barracks where I can produce food and iron, food and gold. Alright. Who the hell can actually shoot at air? Alright, we're just making machine guns to get through our gold. And we've got more tanks now.
Awaiting orders.
Because we don't want them to kill this hospital. We got one spy left who should take over what?
Yes, Commander.
I don't
We are
know.
under attack.
By your command. Ready, sir.
We are under attack.
Yeah, there goes the hospital.
Awaiting orders.
Mine coming up.
Awaiting orders. As you command.
What do I have to do before I can finish this? Destroy Buckingham Place, town center, or capital. Because I feel like sometimes the British just keep existing forever.
We are under attack. Yeah?
I Like, I don't know. I've got these flak panthers. They could do something about them. Oh, I've got all sorts of shit over here that I didn't seem to know about. Alright. Is this boat full up of villagers?
Where to,
Okay.
sir? Setting course. Our course, sir?
We are under attack.
I gotta figure out what these American buildings are. They got no way to get rid of them right now. And they just got like stupid fighter bomber. Like there's Typhoons, which are in Allied General, like the worst plane ever. And this, they're killing all of my army because I've got nothing hanging around that can shoot them down. What happened to the units I produced out of here? They just, I guess I sent them over here to hang out at this and they got killed. Yeah, I've really made a mess of this.
Our course, sir? Plotting new course.
We are under attack. Right away.
Ready, orders. Denmark. Awaiting orders.
We are under attack.
By your command. Yes, Commander. Sir? Sir, yes, sir.
Okay, you guys are on the way. I got iron back. Do I have another spy? Alright. Did I leave a British town center alive that I can claim resources from? I think I've kind of wrecked them all. But I gotta put together some kind of force that can go find where the Americans are. Because the British just, I think they just spawn infinitely in this particular map.
We are under attack.
Awaiting orders. Ready, sirs.
We are under attack. Ready. How can I help?
The British throne has retreated to Canada. England is now a province in the far greater German Empire.
Okay, did it.
We are under
But we haven't won because we haven't found the American buildings. No. Okay, we did win. Yeah, it seems like we knocked the Americans out a while ago. And so, again, what a fucking joke. I made a meal out of this thing because we wiped out the American buildings. The British don't follow the normal rules. Like, they weren't producing necessarily units out of these buildings. I think they just have big groups of units just warp in. So they would have, like, roving bands of artillery with tank support that warped in periodically. And I was wasting all this stuff trying to put together an army after my army got wiped out, to hunt down the Americans. But really, I was... Oh boy, what a mess you made of this. I needed to just get this... It was a settlement and not a town center. So the Americans never got off the ground. Like, I guess... I remember off screen I found some buildings of theirs lurking around up here after I'd... Maybe it did make a difference wiping out British buildings, because it did seem like the British army had stopped being a threat and I was just roaming around the map not finding anyone. So I guess wherever these Typhoons were coming from... There's like... See, these German... the British military units on the ground were just kind of sitting around. I think what I needed to do a long-ass time ago was eliminate these areas. Yeah, these guys were producing bombers that would just go get killed down here. But, yeah, I think these Typhoons... The Typhoons coming out of this base here probably did, like, an unreasonable amount of damage, because I just never got rid of this. And finally, they stopped being able to do it when I got my Focke. Yeah, I'm not that great at the micro in this game at all. I made a mess of this, but it's done. Let's just go with it. Like, it felt like Germany spent a lot of time just diddling around, letting troops get killed because we didn't pull the trigger and build the capital. But it's done. It was a mess. Somebody else could have done it a lot better, but it's done. And I don't know. I've got to get better at the micro of air units in this game. There's basic stuff like attack command, like attack move command. I don't remember the tutorial telling me that. Maybe I got to go back and look, because we got one campaign left to go, and I remember it being. Is there missions in the final campaign that were significantly harder than anything in the German campaign? So we've got to get better at the. Yeah, I want my air units. So I guess when you set a target for an airfield, they'll kind of auto attack move, but it does seem like there's a lot of just these planes circling around because, like, you know, they might have a very narrow area that they choose to engage in if you don't keep moving their targets around. But yeah, like I really felt like in earlier German missions, the RAF was just infinite and building fighters was never worthwhile. In this, I'm sure we threw away more than our fair share of air power, but it really did come down to we need to kill their airfields dead whenever we find them, and I think we might have similar issues in the upcoming campaign. But that's it for the German campaign. This video went way long, but we're done. So let's quit this game. I don't know. Hold on. Before we do that, anything left to see on the map? It really is. We have this little village up here where they had villagers hanging around, but I don't think they do anything. I think they just had units that just spawn in and were not being built in a normal way by production structures like you'd see in a even single player scenario missions in StarCraft. They need production structures before they can come in. We have little random groups of troops. Yeah, I think we just wiped out the Americans and I didn't even realize it. We sent the bombers up here, and I think the bombers just killed what the capital ships couldn't reach, because the capital ships were pounding on the building and the villagers would repair it, and I think the bombers came up and had area of effect attacks that just killed all the builders. And I think those builders would have needed to build a tank factory and an infantry place, which is what I remember them doing when I had a much smoother run of this off screen. The Americans did get out and build some stuff, but I tracked it down with a big arm. I got a big deathball German army of, you know, tanks and infantry and artillery that never got, like I feel like I lost all my tanks while I wasn't even watching. Like, something was happening and I was looking at something else and it came back and, like, all my tanks got wiped out by artillery. That happens a lot in this game. Anyway, alright. This video's gone long. I have to decide. I could split it in half. I could split it in half and have two sort of shortish videos. Just thinking out loud about stuff. Okay. Bit of a mess. But you can see our pop was really high, and when I finally launched the invasion, yeah, we just lost, like, everything. But this is where I maintained that the British army wasn't following the rules. They never had a big standing army. They would just spike, spike, spike. It wasn't like a gradual build. I think they started with a certain amount. We killed a bunch of stuff with our navy. Maybe it grew back up. But these spikes, I think, are just stuff warping in. I might be wrong. It's important to note, because France, I don't think even has a population of this, despite what it says. Free French is definitely warping, and then when you land in England, they stop warping in. And you can see, when we start taking huge losses, because we're actually fighting on the ground in England, the French stop warping in, because they're a plot thing that happens until you land. I think it's meant to give you some motivation to get going, which it's going to take more than that with me, because I like to just turtle and hang around and take my time. But then, France, I don't know who the French unit was. Rommel died because I'm an idiot. But here's the British Army. Okay, so we had a pretty big naval fight. I think we killed a lot of them with boats. And then we killed some more here, and then they hung around at that same level. And I think this might be... Well, this is really late, though. Some kind of British Army forces warped in, because we had that group of, I think this, maybe there wasn't a warp in, there was just this group of artillery and tanks roaming around that finally hit us and did a huge amount of damage, but they were just roaming around otherwise, and I don't know what that spike represents. But the RAF, man, this is how it worked in previous ones too. I think they just occasionally get awarded a bunch of planes. And now they certainly had workers hanging around in one of their factions, and they had buildings, but it just feels like they warp in. And if there's no airfield for them to warp in, they stop warping in. But it doesn't feel like they have. They're not doing that like bad AI. They build one unit and it attacks your death ball, and then they build another unit and it attacks your death ball, and they never mass enough to damage you. I don't think their AI is being smart and building a bunch of stuff and then not launching it until they have enough. I think the AI just periodically gets like 10 Typhoons. Because we're going from like below 10, spiked back up to 20. Below, spiked back up to 20, spiked back up to above 20. So maybe I'm crazy. I think that's what's happening. The 8th Fleet, that's the American Navy. They just all got sunk when we first encountered them. And then the American Landing Force. I think we had one fight with them, and then whatever, like, okay, so there's some group that we never found. I don't know. But we got it done, eventually. We killed 700 units, we lost 164. I think we should have had better losses than that compared to the British Army, but here's the thing. We shot down 312 RAF units, and they just always had more. Buildings lost, Britain, whatever, of course it was. They were the country being invaded. Society, citizen count. U.S. had the highest citizen count, highest research count. Okay. We had 6 heroes. I don't know how many of them survived. Oh, the 5 spies were heroes. So Rommel and 5 spies. We already looked at the timeline. Nobody had anything with Epoch. I dominated Hotkey's breast. There you go. I made a meal out of that. But, you know, the Germans eat their biggest meal in the middle of the day. They have heavy lunches, light dinners. It's actually a pretty smart strategy. Because it gives you more time to digest. And that's why they're able to eat, like, you know, freaking the best sausage in the world, and they don't have the obesity rate of Americans. I'm sure that's the only reason. Yeah, Germans. Rich food, high cholesterol food, beer, do not have the obesity rate of Americans. I'm opening myself up to somebody from Germany putting in a lot of stuff in the comments about why this is true, but a pretty big part of it. I think Americans eat more cheese than anyone else in the world, including the French. But they eat things that we call cheese. The French would not consider cheese. But no, I've heard, and it makes sense to me. That, yeah, probably the Germans eat more in moderation, but they have really traditional German cuisine has some really high cholesterol stuff in it. But they do eat their biggest meal in the middle of the day. They have a tendency to get exercise in the evenings. And I don't know why I'm talking so much in huge generalities about an entire country full of people. I'll tell you what, though, we just finished a whole German campaign in which we allowed Germany to conquer England and all of Europe and spread their special racist brand of fascism everywhere. So, having spent all this time playing as the Germans, I feel like I'm allowed to comment on their diet. Sure, that makes sense. When we come back next time, guys, I don't have any plans at this time. And I think this series, I don't know, I'm not getting a ton of feedback on this one. It feels like I was getting some good viewership up at the front. But I'm only uploading 1 video a week of this, so it's I don't know how many people are still following along. So I don't have any plans right now to go play like the Conquerors expansion and the single player content from that. Because what I played back in the day that I have some nostalgia about was the base game, Empire Earth. But it has 1 more campaign left to go, the Russian campaign. Following the collapse of the Soviet Union in the early 1900s, is confirming it's the same text, the proud state of Russia struggled to find its place in the New World Order, NWO. But after 25 years, little forward progress was made. Now, a streetwise young man named Grigor Ilyanovich... Okay. I took German in high school. I can usually pronounce German words pretty close to the correct pronunciation. But this is Russian. Grigor Ilyanich Stoyanovich Okay, that's not too bad. Grigor Ilyinich Stoyanovich is promising to return Russia to its rightful place as a powerful and respected nation, and his heart burns the ambition to build the greatest empire ever seen on Earth. So this, I did one off screen, just fooling around, and then I got to what is, from what I've seen in the fan sites, is considered either the hardest or second hardest campaign in the game, which is Scenario 2 of the Russia campaign. It's only got 6 scenarios. I guess it does kind of tell you. Completed. Okay, well, we won't be able to see for anyone else, but yeah, it tells you 1 of 6. So we got 6 total. I've finished 1 off screen. So we got 6 scenarios left to go. And as you can see, it's going to involve cloaked machine gun wielding fascist troops and robots. You want to find out what happens in a future Soviet Union full of, like a future Russia full of, Novaya probably means something in Russian. It might mean New Russia. But if you want to find out about giant quasi-Soviet robot warriors, tune in next time. Although, actually, we got to get past the first scenario before giant robot warriors show up. But it's coming, folks, I promise. Bye-bye.